AT fans, Monk here, and today's Trail Bite is going to be about the topic of snakes. So, first of all, there are many people that lose their mind over snakes, and I used to be one of those people. I mean, not like didn't have like hysteria, but I was concerned. I was worried. I was worried about timber rattlesnakes. I was worried about copperheads. I was worried about getting bit by a poisonous snake. And there is this hysteria about snakes. There's no other way to put it. When I talk about snakes, when I encounter snakes on the trail, I mean, people would lose their minds. So if you're going to be hiking, if you're going to be through hiking, one thing you're going to want to get comfortable with is the idea that snakes are non-aggressive creatures. Okay, let me say that again. They are non-aggressive creatures. And I had to get very comfortable with the idea of snakes because you will see them all the time on the Appalachian Trail. All the time. I mean, I saw so many black snakes that it didn't even, they'd always startle me just because, you're like, oh my God, it's a snake. It's just something that over time, I just got used to snakes. And by the end of the trail, the snakes were not a fear of mine, particularly if you just have the knowledge that the snakes want no part of you. Snakes, we are not their prey. They do not want to bite us. They do not want to hurt us. They want nothing to do with us. Okay, that's so important that's as far as, if there's anything I can emphasize, that's number one. Okay, number two is, yes, you do need to pay attention. You always want to keep keep your eyes on the ground, because the one thing you do not want to do is step on a poisonous snake. Because if a snake feels threatened, then you might get bit, and that could obviously be that could be a serious situation if it's like a copperhead or a timber rattlesnake. They do tend to want to sun themselves on the trail. During the course of the entire trip, though, I saw 3 timber rattlesnakes, and I had a close encounter with there was a timber rattlesnake and a copperhead together at one time. I don't know what that was all about. And I was hanging up my food bag on a campsite in New York, and I stepped, and just an inch from my foot was a full-size adult copperhead, like a 3 or 4 footer, huge. And it went away from me, and I was like, oh my God. And that startled me. So I always thought, well, they're gonna be on the trail, and I wasn't thinking when I was off the trail. So you do want to pay attention when you're off the trail too. So that's a lesson learned. But it's just one of those things, you just have to, it's part of just being attuned to nature and being a part, and the snakes are a part of nature, and you're a part of nature when you're through hiking. So just, you want to be smart about it. Obviously, when you're in rocky areas, you want to, there's a guy named Bubba in Georgia who said, well, yeah, them copperheads and them rocks, they're going to eat you up. So when you're in a real rocky area or crevices, you want to be able to pay attention. And I'll close with one story about a snake, or a potential snake. I was in an area in Pennsylvania, and it was kind of like a knife edge area. And there was a young woman behind me, or a young woman, I'd passed her, and then I heard her scream. She went, ah! And I went running back, and there she was, and she looked okay. And I said, everything okay? She goes, well, no, but I dropped my phone. And she dropped her phone in the crevice of the rocks. And I said, well, can you get it? She goes, yeah, I could see it. But I said, you're worried about the snake? She goes, yeah. And I said, well, I consider myself a gentleman, and I'll wait here with you, but I ain't reaching my hand down to those rocks. So she retrieved the phone, and everything was okay, and I would have carried her out like a hero. So that's the Trail Bite on snakes. If you have any questions, happy to answer them. Monk out.